I stopped it for a moment. Then I changed the title. Uh, there's a book, 1984, referenced a lot as far as a totalitarian, well, just running the state. And Winston is the name of a censor who works for the government. His job is to go through old newspapers and change them. I think there are 3 countries in the world. I forget the name of them. Oceania is one of them, and I forget the name of the other 2. Well, anyway, 2 of them seem to be always at war with the other, and who our allies are. Well, that changes. And so I think one of the slogans, we've always been at war with Oceania, even if we are Oceania. Well, the person's name is Winston. And I've been smoking a brand off and on called Winston. This morning I wasted a whole pack. Well, Jeremy quit smoking. Last night, because I'm a petulant child, I quit smoking a lot of times. And, I quit smoking a few days ago. Didn't need one. It was the day I went on a 20-mile, by my estimate, 20 miles, walk. Well, last night, being the petulant child that I am, I bought a brand of little cigarillos, little cigars, called, I won't promote brands. Needless to say, I have nostalgic feelings. So I'm sitting there outside of a restaurant and I'm smoking on it. Just a little bit, just like puff it, then take it home. And I look and there's a family eating. And the little girl's looking at me and she has a sucker. And I'm just like, what a bad example. It's like smoking's back. It's cool again. It's nasty. It's gross. My clothes stink. All sorts of things. The reason I smoke is because I miss friends. It was like slowly pushed out of the cool people and up in the smokers pile. Well, they're usually the standoffish. And yet, for us, at least we talked. So I usually sit around and I miss people. I miss those times. Just a waste of money. Unless it's not. Call them thinking sticks. Cancer sticks. I really don't know if my mouth is and things taste this way because of the nasty water supply or because I have so much stuff coming out of my system. Could be the plastics. Could be a cigarette that cause cancer. And well, this gets back to carrots. That's one of the things that I've been avoiding. Just the doctors. It's one of the reasons I'm going crazy. Well, I've been crazy. There was a push to have remote medicine. When I broke my leg, they sent the X-rays to Tulsa. Like they don't have a doctor here at the hospital, who like look at the X-rays and like, yeah, okay, that's a break right here. No, they sent it. They sent it to Tulsa. So I never even met that doctor. Just paid them. They have this sharing agreement. I think I have like 10 separate bills. In total, I owed the hospital like 150,000. And yeah, I think it's broken down into like the ambulance ride, the X-rays, remote X-rays, 5 different. It's a lot. So the lesson is don't get in accidents. That's the biggest lesson. Just don't get in accidents. I actually woke up naturally at around 4:45. I actually naturally woke up around 4:45. Try and get on a more routine. The urge, to smoke one little cigarette, start the day. I did that the other day, and I had another, and before I knew it, I had like 4 cigarettes in an hour. Still got the nerves. What's funny is, as I was throwing the pack away in the garbage, I looked down there, and it looks like strategically placed there cigarette butts, like marking territory. But yeah, it was mostly the little kid watching me. This is my breakfast. See, I don't know what the appropriate diet is. I really don't. These bird foods. Video amp product decoder. I like that one. Although I just threw away $10 of product, I also saved like $5 yesterday. I got these sunflower seeds over at a regular store where they're $1.25. I've been paying like $3.59, $3.99 over at the gas stations. Gas stations are convenience. Well, the convenience stores. Yeah, I figure I should get rid of them before I get like the real urge. So Winston, a lot of it has to do with teaching Winston. What did he say? 2 plus 2 is 5 or something. I don't know. I've been in back and forth with my younger brother and stuff. Now he's been in the civilian world. I've been in a different one. And the different people have different life experiences. I'll tell you, I think his experiences are far more challenging than what I've been through. Like my routine, let's see, it's 6:43. About 10 years ago, well, I was on a different schedule then, so it's hard to. Is that light coming through the? That's the kitchen. All right, there we go. Let's see. 10 years ago, what would my routine be like? I was on night shift, so I would be. Well, I'd still be at work. Yeah, I'd be at work. Like a Wednesday, I'd be sitting there watching tracks on a radar thing. And one screen. And then Wednesdays, is that the day? Is that the was that the oh my goodness, which days did I feel generators? I think I feel generators twice a week or something. My favorite days. Maybe once. Now, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I had a more normal job. Like 10 years ago, I was working like 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was midnight to noon. So, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I only had a 1 month. Like a 5 years ago, I was getting ready to go home. So my routine is a little bit different. Still, let's do 2020. Let's do 2020. In May of 2020, I would be waking up. Probably, well, I might have already been up. About this time, I'm heading into the chow hall. Getting some fried eggs, toast, fruit maybe, grits. Yeah, I'm off to sit down in the office and check email. About this time, I'm walking with my to-go order, sitting down and checking email. Checking email, open up the work thing to see if any jobs have come in. And if any work orders have come in, get in the truck, go out to the equipment site, check it out, get the stuff fixed. Maybe there's nothing going on. And then I'd sit, do study courses, maybe do yoga. Wait for lunch. travel book. I think it's Eve. I think it's Eva Curry or somebody. Well, this woman or this person is a journalist. She's documenting things, and she's visiting the Soviet Union, and she's talking about the army, how all the food is gone to feed the army, so the civilians are basically starving, while the army has all the food. Five years ago, I had about a month left before I was coming home. I knew COVID was happening. I didn't know how COVID was affecting people back in the United States. Apparently, one of the big things about the lockdowns is a lot of people stopped smoking. The masks, the being indoors, a lot of that. I mean, when I really think about it, it is quite rude. Like, it smells. I mean, the ones I have. I guess I'm being petulant. It was also a smoke signal and a warning, like my temper. I didn't know how it was affecting civilians. So we have a very interesting time here, where a lot of the cause for the anxiety. Well, we don't have a war anymore. No war, no smoking, no fires. So Jeremy Peterson was very proud. He hadn't had a cigarette in 12 hours. He quit smoking. I think Ruby's special. Ruby's allowed to just stay Ruby. As for me and Jeremy and the kids, I had a friend, he'd like me to come over because that was an excuse. When I would come over, he's a family guy, wife, 3 kids, and kind of isolated. You know, the women don't want their men wandering off. He's responsibility at home. So I'd come over, and that was his excuse to have some whiskey, smoke some cigarettes in the garage. And yet those little girls, that was over 10 years ago. Well over 10 years ago. Habits over family. So it's a day. It's my brother's birthday. I wonder how his daughter's doing. I was going to name this Ladybugs and Roly-Polies. Do you know Ladybugs and Roly-Polies are? Well, when I was growing up and being mature, I went on a date with a girl who had a kid. And I remember our first date, and she said, and it was like kind of nervous. She said, "Can little K come?" I mean, she didn't call her little K. I just don't want to use the name too much. And I was like, and it's a little 2-year-old girl. You know, I suppose a lot of younger guys, that would be a hindrance. And I was older, so I was like, yeah. Let's go. So we went to. Where did we go? Did we go to yogurt and the Efi Hall? And we went to a bird. We did that. We definitely went to a bird sanctuary once and saw like this wounded owl. Very interesting, these owls. They brought the owl out, the caretaker, explaining of how the owl was found. And it just looked at us. It would turn its head and it would just look. And there's a little kid and there's me, and I just look back and forth between us like. What's funny is that as soon as I broke the cigarettes, and I gave some, I threw some in the grass, not the butts, not the little filter things. The other ones, but pretty much the rains, and they'll biodegrade. Maybe give the bugs and stuff nicotine. Wait, I got this. And as soon as I threw the cigarettes away, I don't want this. That's a trigger thing. But for whatever reason, they taste. To me, they go together. I'm serious about getting my mind right. I had a Bible study class, and I noticed, no, they weren't there. My Bible study friends weren't there. We had a real interesting Saturday, however. The part of the Bible I'm at, there was one where one of these patriarchs is saving his daughter-in-law for a younger son. I think something happened where one son died and widowed this woman, and so he was saving his son's widow for another son, a younger one, which in my society is just. That's why this is really fascinating to read this. Well, apparently, she dressed up as a harlot and met him, and he was traveling, and his daughter-in-law dressed up as a harlot, and he sees her, and so I want her, and he sleeps with her thinking she's a harlot, not recognizing his own daughter-in-law, and impregnates her. I was fortunate enough to get to talk to somebody yesterday about Game of Thrones. Somebody who was a Game of Thrones fan. Unfortunately, they were working at the restaurant, so getting an in-depth conversation and things. Like, was it Marjorie? How much older than little Togan? Anyway, so Joffrey gets poisoned. There is another brother. Isn't there another brother? Anyway, Queen Cersei ends up with just her youngest child. And so she marries him off to the woman who was going to replace Sansa. Did I copulate? the thing I was seeing where they consummate the marriage. It's like 20 something year old Marjorie and 12-year-old Token. I didn't look at the time. I don't think. What was it? Maybe 2 or 3. Probably 3. Anyway, I went and vomited. I had a couple. Mimosas. These it's orange juice and whatever champagne they have over at the restaurant. I had a couple of those last night. Couple beers. I made some rounds. Went over to one Italian place I was planning eating at. Or they have this floral arrangements, and that the smell of these flowers are like, I don't know about it. There's overwhelming aromas in there now. I almost prefer like bunch of people chain smoking in there to the flowers. Almost, I said. So I went and had a couple beers. It's to get out and socialize. I don't get any chatters. So I have a bunch of pacifists who are waiting for us to come back from war to make examples of us. And now we're not being violent. I wonder how much of pacifists were living off of interest from other things. A lot of stuff to talk about. Individual cases. So I try to stick with my individual family. Strangers. I'm not judging lives about talking to them. Since my immediate family, we've been in each other's lives pretty much from birth. Don't know everything. But we do know something. So I wanted to get a jump on here. Get a head start for like we witnessed him. There was $10 and he was disrespectful. He broke those cigarettes, threw them away because they didn't give them to people who can't force you. Just whatever. Too many aides. Too many in the service class. So about an hour and 15 minutes. Hour and a half. I guess it'll be another tea day. The sugars activate other cravings. hopefully I'll be able to, well, 5 years, 10 years. It's like having seen some people and in 2 days they're gonna have in one of the courts in another city. They're having they're having a court case. They're having a court hearing in which a girl who turned 9 in March. She just turned 9 in March, and she's petitioning with the help of other people, apparently, the court to emancipate her from her parents so she can be adopted by someone else. I wonder how far we've gone. Like, are smokers really not allowed? Like cigarette smokers? And there's an argument because I have people who they just smoke weed. So it's like, and that's a nice little thing. But yeah, just is that the case? Is that what all hinges on? I don't know. I have to find your mother. I'm not saying it's a nefarious plot to get to marry off 9-year-olds because we just have such a shortage of relationships. However, here I am. I already feel cleaner. There's a hit that goes into the brain. It's like it is a nicotine hit, and I've been more and more and more lately. And cigarettes went in the garbage can. I have 3 of these cigarettos sitting on top of one. So I don't know. I'm gonna go where spirit moves me. So far, I feel good. And I go get my hair. My sink is filled. My pipes are well. I think it's product. I think they're little like the plastics, the nanoplastics and stuff in these things. I think it's gunked up the pipe work in the house because my sink doesn't really drain. It drains. It's just very slow. It'll rise up and then over hours it'll slowly go down. I'm trying to wash my hair and not take a shower. Well, somebody said the COVID's in the hair, and I have noticed that there are certain brands like these, well, they'll stink. Like I'll go out and smoke some of the product I smoke. I'll walk in, people will smell it like from 5 feet away. It's like it's a wall. In some ways, it's like a force field. However, it is pretty noticeable. So the stink and the stuffed up noses, well, I hear it smelling okay. End your stream now. I just wanted to say hi, and literally, and I have like no chats. I have then this. It's just a lot of people do this so they can talk to people. This is more just for me, it's something else. For me, it's basically a video diary kind of thing. I did get a view. For 1 minute and 9 seconds. Sweet. That's pretty sweet. Somebody tuned in and watched.